Everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Today we're working on another Toyota, actually, 2003 Highlander. And before we start, check out this exhaust system. This is what I'm talking about. Toyota quality, stainless, original. Look at that, beautiful. Not a speck of rust on there. That's the way they used to make them. So that 2007 Corolla, that muffler, they cheaped out on it. So even Toyota has their moments. But anyways, this thing right now, stone cold dead. Got the voltmeter on it, 0.8 volts. Amazing. Battery doesn't look that old. It's 2015, so a couple years old. It is the Never Start brand from Walmart. But the guy said that on the way to work it was like squealing or something, and he got here and it just, that's it, done. So definitely has oil in it. Engine didn't seize up. I'm wondering about the belt. Seems it's there and it's tight, and you know, the alternator seems to, well, I don't know. Let's get a jump pack on this thing and see if we can start it up. So in this case, when we turn the NOCO on, it won't even recognize the battery because it's so stone cold dead. Now let's push our magic button. Oh, we got 9.8 volts. I almost smell something burning. I want to see the amperage on here. Ready? And look, the battery pack just got freaking drained hard. It's not happy, I don't think. 9.7 volts. Now let's see. Starts up. Wow. Oh, the alternator's squealing. What he was talking about. We got 14 volts for sure. Let's shut this guy off. So is there a massive drain on this battery right now? That it sounds like it's laboring. So I want to see, get a battery clamp on this positive cable. Let's go on the alternator cable. So right here. Holy crap. Well, 50 amps. Smell coming here too. I don't know, I don't like this. Let's shut it off. Back to our voltmeter. Let's see, that guy should be on there. And I wish I could get an amp clamp on here a little easier. Measure the current draw on this battery. Can't really get my clamp around one of these cables. Let's see, just for kicks, I want to see if there's something going through this alternator. Nope, nothing extreme there. But our voltage is dropping, so let me at least get this battery somewhere where I can get an amp clamp on it. So by the time I got my amp clamp on there, we're down to 1.1 volts. Holy crap. And just to check the amperage here, you know, 1.9 amps, no big deal. So let me get the boost pack on here again. See what the heck is going on. Is this battery internally shorted? Crazy. Charging current. Amazing. Cool. We have 25 amps going into the battery. Normal, 13.3. Okay, no big deal. You'll see the negative in front of the amps. That's because right now the current is going this way through the battery clamp and charging our battery. Okay, so that is battery charging current. So we can let that charge up for a little bit. But that battery should not go to 0 volts that quickly at all. No way. It seems like the charging current is going down very rapidly. And if this battery was stone cold dead, it would take a lot more than, you know, 10 amps for 2 minutes to charge it up. So right now, I already know the battery is toast. Turn this guy off. There you go. So it's basically fully charged, supposedly. And our voltages. Uh-oh. That's a problem. So definitely a problem. The battery's definitely dead, but the alternator's not putting out. Before it was like 13 volts, now it's down to 11. So let's pull up a wiring diagram of this charging circuit and see what's going on. But that alternator sounds pretty bad. And just, where's our charging light? There's our charging light. Yeah, it's dead. But why is the charging light not on? I don't know. Oop, start and stall. Almost 200,000 miles. Not too bad. Okay. Just to make sure. Shut this guy off. Disconnect the boost pack. We only have 11 volts. And our amperage. We come over here and go just around our alternator positive wire. Oh, look, we got 22 amps. Oh, what happened there? 27 amps? What the heck is going on here? Hey, look, our voltage is back up to 13.3. So it wasn't crazy. Something is... This is a good one. 13.1. And our amperage is 42 amps coming out of the alternator, so that's good. Our battery should be charging right now, right? About 16 amps. Okay. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. So is that enough to call an alternator? I'd say yeah. Let's just take a quick look at the wiring diagram just to make sure we're not missing any input signals to the alternator here, and then that's what it needs. Now the battery itself, I guess first do the alternator, see if the battery lasts, but if they got discharged that hardcore, yeah, the battery might be cooked too. A little bit of misinformation here. It's actually a 2007 model year with 200,000 miles. So same year as that Corolla, but I'm telling you, the exhaust on this thing is like mint. So maybe on the higher end models they didn't cheap out on that muffler piece. But it's kind of weird. We're almost at 12 volts now, and the voltage isn't dropping. And the alternator is definitely putting out something, about 20 amps. I think the voltage regulator inside that thing is toast. So again, wiring diagram, and I think we're almost done here. Wiring diagram. There is our alternator. Let's see here. We have some power feeds to it. S, I, G, and B, and they all come from, well, that's probably the main, you know, B is attached to the battery. That's the fat white cable, goes back to the battery, and the other two fuses here, there's an Alt S and an ECU ignition fuse. Those both go to our alternator. And then there's a wire that goes to our ECM, and the charge indicator light, apparently that's just you know, there's a communication between the ECM and the combination meter, and that's what tells it to turn on the charge light. So there's no direct connection between the cluster and the alternator. So basically, I guess we have to check these wires here, the ignition, the S terminal, and, well, I mean, we could read system in operation, etc., but if you're in the field and the alternator sounds that bad, you're just putting in an alternator. But here, you know, we at least want to learn something from this. I was thinking of putting a just a scope on the main battery post there, and seeing if we have like a bad diode in there. If that's why it sounds really bad. Seeing what the voltage does as you rev it up. I don't know, just to play around with it a little bit, and I guess we'll try to get an alternator for this thing. Alright guys, we got the picoscope set up. I'm just on the positive alternator post, and that's the NOCO clicking away there. Let's start it up. Turn this guy off. See, our voltage is at like 8 volts. Let's rev it up a couple times. We got the scope. Oh no. That's not gonna work. Well, there's your event. We're down to like 5 volts. Dang. Maybe I should let the boost back on there. Shut that guy off. Let's see. Let's save that guy. And screw it. We'll just look at the ripple. Let's go to a previous screen. Okay, that's where we started it, right? That's where it started dying. Okay, that's when we shut the boost pack off, and it was like, argh. So ripple is going from 5.7 to 7.2 volts. Is that right? About 1.5 volt ripple. And the alternator obviously doesn't want to put out. Should we throw an amp clamp on here just to see what the alternator's doing for experiment's sake? I think we should. So things always get more interesting when you put an amp clamp on something, right? So let's see, fire up the NOCO again. This thing is doing pretty well here. Okay, so there it's on. Good. Fire up the car. Cool. Okay. Holy crap. That is wicked cool. See guys, I told you it gets more interesting when you put an amp clamp on there. I'm going to shut the boost back off. Wow. Really, really neat. So let's analyze some data. So first, let's look at our startup event. Right there, everything's good, and then we get something. Oh, this is fantastic. I don't know, guys. I get excited about waveforms like this. Look at that current output. So here, let's minimize that guy. It's zero amps. 1 volt is actually 10 amps on my amp clamp. So we're just going between 0 and 10 amps all over the place. And look how that correlates with our voltage waveform. So when the amps go up, that corresponds exactly when our voltage, humps go up a little bit. Obviously, it's not the correct voltage, and this alternator is completely blown. But if we go to, let's see, the next slide. So this is the jump pack's still on, and here when I turn the jump pack off, we're done. The engine just shut off completely because this battery is, totally drained. And here, look at that current waveform. I've never seen anything that cool come out of an alternator before. Now keep in mind the 0 here is actually right there. So this thing is actually, it looks like it's draining the battery by, see, 1 volt is, what did we say again, 10 amps? So we're getting negative amperage. On average, actually, it's negative. So that would explain our battery drain even quicker than the car could do it itself. So this alternator isn't just not charging the battery, it's actually also draining the battery when it's spinning, it looks like. I think I'm right here. Because there's a 0 line. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the screen. You guys are not looking at the screen. So this is just for educational purposes here. We're way below the 0 line. But here, see, we started at the 0 line, and once the alternator kicked in, our average, here's the 0 line, we are about 4 amps, going below that. So it does indeed look like a diode has failed, and we're actually moving current the other way through this thing. And once we shut off, we went to, well, basically 0. That is actually very, very cool. And we're at 5 volts here. So I'm going to save that, get this guy an estimate alternator, and that's it. We'll put it on and hopefully it works 100%. Okay guys, we got the okay from the customer to do the alternator and the battery. Now the battery, he might have a warranty on that, so he could save some money there. But the alternator, that's getting a reman unit from Napa. That's the only one available here. So we're going to tear it apart, and I guess I'll get you an after shot once everything's put in, and we'll get a known good voltage measurement, and hopefully this car will be fixed. Alright, fast forward, we got a brand new remanufactured alternator, and Walmart warrantied our battery, which was awesome. So that old one that got run down to, basically 0 volts was toast. So they had to, take it for an hour, do their checks, whatever, and they gave us a new battery. So all we have to do now is throw on our amp clamp and fire it up and just do a final voltage check, and it should be good to go. Alright, so we're starting at 12.6 volts as expected, and just to make sure we don't have any current draw at the moment, get that clamper on there. 0.1 amps. Happy with that? Oh yeah. Uh-oh. There we go. So the computer reset from the battery being disconnected, so that's the way in the idle and stuff. So it's accepting 20 amps right now. That's good. And our voltage is 14.1. Beautiful. Nice and quiet. Should last another 10 years or so, right?
Another 200,000?
Another 200,000 miles. No battery light. Turn our headlights on. Fan. AC. Just make sure our voltage stays good. Yep, 14 volts. Perfect. Alright guys, that's a fix. Thanks for watching. See you next time.